Greetings, my fellow warriors. So, I would like now to talk about something what is very important for us, and the question is why uh, why will it is important for rate cuts to take a place for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to be released, and what does it mean, and what will most probably happen. So we know that Warsh was appointed for Fed chair like a week, 2 weeks ago. And why does interest rates is so important for us? We know the midterm is coming, and soon, very soon, Trump will have to do something about the economy, especially because this disaster with Iran, what is going on in the stock price. So he cannot say, like, because the Iran story will not have soon finish soon enough. Like yesterday, they bombed the airport in Kuwait. On one side, and it really happened, these pictures destroyed, and the other side says that everything was intercepted. So it doesn't matter. The whole idea that is not stopping. But so something has to be done that people have the reason, financial reason, to vote for Republicans. And most probably that will be cutting of the interest rates by Warsh. If the question is, will Warsh cut the interest rates? Definitely and absolutely. I'm a million percent positive that he will. Why? First, have in mind that why Jerome Powell was fired by Trump. Fired. His term expired, but he was actually ousted by the uh, Trump and the team, or didn't they didn't want him anymore. Not because he didn't look nice, not because his hairstyle was bad. It is actually because he didn't want to cut the rates. That's why they called him too slow. He was slow to cut the rates. Too late. Yeah. So, do you think that Trump would appoint the guy that will not cut the rates? So, no matter what, no matter how, Warsh will cut the rates, even if there is inflation. Why? And what I would do, of course, I'm not in position of Warsh, and nobody cares about me. But uh, the Warsh think basically even better than me. And I think if I'm in a position of Warsh, I would take and do massive quantitative tightening in order to decrease the amount of the money on the market, and that will create deflationary effect. But at the same, and that will create the problems for the banks and for the Fed reserves at all, because they will make less money and they will have smaller shit. Uh, so that will create the problem and decrease the amount of the money on the market, create deflationary effect. At the same time, I would cut the interest rates. Cutting the interest rates will help actually like the housing market, because people will be start to buy and sell the houses. It will help the economy overall, because the businesses will be able to borrow the money on the for cheaper rates, so they will be more eager to borrow the money. So who will be awarded? Awarded would be the basically the common guy, and who would be punished basically the big institutions. So that's why the wars will have the excuse to cut the rates. On top of that, just think, let me repeat again, he's the Trump guy. Trump just appointed him after the Jerome Powell, who didn't want to cut the rates. Do you think that there's a 1% chance that Trump will appoint the guy who will not cut the rates? So that's why the rates will be cut no matter what. And I believe, like, especially because, when they ask Pulte, like, who is also in the camp of that mindset with the Trump, with the most probably with the Warsh in that Trump camp, what should be the interest rates? When they ask him, I think on CNBC, he said 0%, clean 0%. It was like, I think zero. No, it was 0%. End of the story. So there's not even slight chance that Warsh will not cut the rates, and I believe he will cut for 1%, just to stimulate the economy. Say, or he will say the economy is down, we need to help it, and he will cut it 1%. Um, so, is that good for us or bad for us? I will try to explain in a next video what, how and what will happen with the housing market, um, for regarding that. So we have the interest rates cut for sure. Stay well, my friends.